The Other Worlds books depend on the Bean Counter Volume 2 review. I'm pretty sure Parallel Worlds people have different bodies than we do. Irish Indalark. Transported to another world by mistake, salaryman Seiichiro Kondo is doing his best to make himself useful by working hard in the planes accounts department. But his addiction to work and nutritional tonics leads to his sudden collapse in the street, rascally healed by the stern-faced night captain, Irish Indalark. Seiichiro can wait to get back to his work. The fact that Irish has been obliged to heal him by having sex with him, consensual of course, is something that he is accepted but he is perhaps also in denial about. This is another world and they do things differently here. But Irish is horrified to find him back to his desk. He nearly died, and marches him off the mid-circle while Buzz, the director of medical affairs, who diagnoses his weakened condition to be caused by his lack of resistance, the magical tiny energy particles in the air, as Sei was dragged into the world at the same time as the Holy Maiden was summoned. She was protected, but he was not, and is suffer as the consequences. Irish, who for many reasons feels responsible for Sei, could he have followed for him? Undertakes a look after him. This means that Sei's horror is that he eats properly and takes him away from his desk to rest, and no overtime. Sei is not prepared to be mollycoddled. Although the dinner date at Irish's favorite restaurant appeals because the dishes served they are lighter and more like the food he's used to in Japan, and stubbornly tries to resist Irish's new regime. How does he seize me as his pet? The puzzle Sei wonders until another clash of eels ensues between the two. And the Holy Maiden, Lady Wua, she receiving instructions in the magical arts from Irish, and one day follows him into the dining hall where he's supervising Sei's diet. A rather awkward meal ensues, at which he thoughtlessly calls Sei a work stop yet again, and tries to serve him food he should eat. The Irish's horror. Does she have a little crush on the handsome captain? Does she make Sei see as a rival? The air almost crackles when work-addicted Sei and his self-appointed physician Irish start arguing. Sei has been overworking for so long back on Earth that this has become the only way of life he knows. He is almost like an addict, deprived of his fix, visibly twitching when prevented by Irish from getting back to his desk. This leads to frequent heated exchanges between the two as they begin to negotiate ways to understand the other's manner of thinking. At first, Seiichiro recounts Irish thinks the way he does because he's a privileged noble and can't see matters from an ordinary individual's point of view, but that he begins to realize that the young captain is so much more than an entitled member of the ruling classes. He's caring towards others, in spite of his brusque manner, yet there's no way that he could be in love with him. The charming bonus story at the end, the bean counter's fate depends on his subordinates, show us yet another side to Irish, and the way that he thinks about Sei. The second volume of the manga is adapted from Sasuke Wakasu's BL light novels, brings the talents of new mangaka Kazuki Iridori to the forming, confirming the primaries of the first. It is now so nice to have the two made available within a 4-week span by Yen Press. Not only is Iridori a talented pictorial storyteller, the story flows along very smoothly, something that doesn't always happen with the adaptations from light novels. But under her pen, the characters spring to vid life and page. No mean feat. I'm not a fan of the isekai by rote cliched manga that seems to proliferate on the shelves month after month, but this one already stands out because of the novelist being the planet set up. Sei brings his problems with him into the parallel world and only begins to change his outlook on life when Irish intervenes. It's weird to be able to single out the conversation between characters from praise and what is. Above all, a visual storytelling, but aided by Emma Schumacher's translation from Yen Press, they are really helped to bring the story to life. There's only a third volume out in Japan, and this ongoing series, and thus far Yen Press haven't given us a date for it. So one can only hope we will have to wait too long, as this volume ends abruptly on a dramatic cliffhanger. 9 out of 10.